Hi, everyone. Welcome to Grit and Good News. We have a little different setup today. Jeff is out of town, so Sammy is joining me, and I'm always happy when that happens. Today is Tuesday, December the 16th.
16th.
So we got a
Yes.
little more than a week until Christmas. It's amazing how quick the holidays come and go, and how this year has come and gone. Sammy and I have a lot to talk to you about today, or share with you, and certainly want to hear your feedback if you have any. Hey, Terry, happy that you are here. Hope you're doing well. Uh, there's so much going on in the world today. Before we get to that, I want to tell you that we do this show every Tuesday and Thursday from noon until 1 o'clock Texas time, which is Central Standard Time. We are, in this case, it's the father son, Sammy and Scott Brooks. We have often thought about doing our own show in addition to Grit and Good News, where it's just me and Sam, so that you have a perspective uh, of someone in a baby boomer and someone that is a Gen Xer. Uh, that way you can kind of we can talk about what it looks like from two extreme angles.
Yeah.
I'm 64, Sammy's 21, so we skipped a generation. He's a late bloomer, and thank goodness. But anyway, we have a lot to talk to you about today. We do this show twice a week. We do it on general topics. Some of it's local, most of it's not though, because we have audience members that are not familiar with Waxahachie or live here, and we want to reach everybody that we can. So we talk about issues that are across the country, sometimes across the world, and Sammy weighs in on them. Ain't that right, Sam?
That is right.
So we always start out with this is our 113th episode of Grit and Good News, and we like to have a little bit of fun to get us into the groove, I guess you could say. So
hmm
Sammy takes our show number, not 113. There aren't any numbers of pro athletes with number 113, but there are of number 13. So, Sammy, who you got today?
All right, NFL.
All right, let me say before you, let me. I like to pick the ones before Sammy said. Kurt Warner's got to be on that list.
He is on that list.
All right, and then Dan Marino's got to be on that list.
Okay, that's two.
All right, well, do I get any more? I had to
No.
stop it too. Okay.
All right, so Dan Marino, Kurt Warner, Odell Beckham Jr., Keenan Allen,
I didn't
T.Y.
ask for the IQ. I asked for the jersey number.
T.Y. Hilton. He played for the Cowboys, right?
T.Y. Hilton? I
He had
think
a
so.
late stint
Yeah,
with the
I think
Cowboys.
everybody's played for the Cowboys at one time
Yeah.
or another.
And then we got Christian Kirk, Hunter Renfro, and Brock Purdy.
Oh yeah, Brock Purdy, who's last player, what do they call him? Mr. Irrelevant is
Mr.
Mr.
Irrelevant.
Relevant and
Yep.
is Mr. Relevant in San Francisco. All right, what about
NBA.
NBA? Paul George
Paul George.
and let me see
That's
if I
that's
can.
funny that he's the one that comes to your head out of all of them.
Oh, James Harden.
Yeah,
He can bite me. I don't like James Harden.
here you stick with.
That's two. Don't let me go more than two, but I'm missing somebody who should be obvious. Oh,
Wilt Chamberlain,
okay, yeah.
James Harden, Steve Nash, Paul
I
George,
don't remember Steve Nash wearing 13, but okay,
13 for the Suns.
okay,
Bam Adebayo,
yeah.
Bam Adebayo. Last one, Bulls legend Joakim Noah, the dude who couldn't shoot. Remember he
Oh
shot
yeah, he
sideways?
shot that weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was weird.
yeah.
All right,
He had a
so we
weird one.
got yeah, Terry. Look at Terry. So we got that. Now what about baseball? Right?
Baseball. Yep. Last one.
A Rod, Alex Rodriguez, Wade Boggs.
Oh, I
No,
didn't
he
get
had
any.
number three, I think.
I got one, two, three, four, five.
Yeah, I don't. Go ahead.
I'll start with at the bottom, Joey Gallo, Texas
Oh
Rangers.
yeah, he hit about .13.
He would he would either hit a home run or strike
Strike
out.
out. Yeah,
We got Omar Vizquel. I don't know who he
Vizquel.
played
Yeah,
for, but we
yeah,
got Billy Wagner
yeah,
for the Stros,
yeah.
Manny Machado.
Oh yeah, for the Padres now.
Yep, yep. And then last one, Dave Concepcion
Oh
for
yeah,
the
I got to tell you
Reds.
about Dave Concepcion. Dave Concepcion was the Reds, the
hmm
big red machine. He played with Johnny Bench and all those guys, and is a Hall of Famer and just been around forever. I don't know if he's still alive, but I was in Cleveland not long after you were born. Went to a baseball game in the Cleveland Stadium. I think it was the Cleveland and the Yankees. So I'm walking around. I go into the shop to buy some stuff,
hmm
and lo and behold, standing in front of me is Davy Concepcion.
Really?
And I walked up to him. I said, Dave. He said, "Shh." And I said, can I get a picture or an autograph? and I'm not normally like that, but this guy's a
Yeah,
big time legend. And he said, "Yeah, but come over here," and I did. And so I forget what
that's
it must
funny.
not have been a picture. I
Was it?
don't
Wait,
think.
was he was playing?
No,
Oh, he was
he was
just
a legend.
yeah.
Yeah, he was already
Okay,
a Hall of Famer by then, but he was a
that's
superstar
funny.
at shortstop. All right, we got NHL. Anybody
No,
in the NHL?
I didn't do
Yeah,
NHL.
Jeff would be here to tell us
Yeah.
who it is and their life history.
Yeah.
We love you, Jeff. Um, so there you have it. Those are the number 13s. Let's talk about the Cowboys real quick. The Cowboys are now 6, 7, and 1. They got beat the other night in what was defensively just an ugly football game. I don't know how else to say it. We keep saying it, and I don't know whether it's to blame Eberflus or we're just not healthy, or we just. I mean, our secondary
Well,
bad.
I mean, yeah, it's players like Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, not
I
there.
mean, just like where'd you go? He was great in 2021. Like Deron Bland, he set a record.
Yeah.
And Eberflus, yeah, Eberflus is just not very good, and we should not lose to the Vikings.
We shouldn't have lost to the Vikings the other night. You're right. I think with Diggs and some of the others, their injuries have really slowed them down. It's changed Diggs a lot. He was
Oh yeah,
supposed to play the other night, but they set him out again. But anyway, the Cowboys are facing this dilemma. They got to win out,
they have to win out.
and
The
the
Eagles
Eagles have to lose out.
lose out.
So we have to win the next 3 or 4 games. I don't know how many are left. I think three. And the Eagles have to lose all three, and then we win the division. Chances of
So,
that happening are slim to none because the Eagles play the Redskins twice.
oh well, that's just great, isn't it?
We play the Chargers, and then we play the Redskins and the Giants. So
Um,
if we beat the Chargers, theoretically, we have a chance to win out. The question would be, can one of those 2 games that Washington plays against the Eagles, can they win?
they have
And
to
I
win
can't remember
both.
the. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they
No, I
have.
mean lose. Can Washington win one of those? If we win out, which we
Oh,
can,
Washington has to win.
yeah,
Yeah,
can Washington of one of those 2 games beat the Eagles? And I can't remember who's sandwiched in between them. It may be the Giants.
yeah.
Uh, so
One and done deal with
stranger things have.
Eberflus after the season. I agree, Terry. I agree.
Yeah, I think Eberflus. I mean, something's got to happen. Somebody's going to be the fall guy.
Yeah, I mean it'll be
Um,
him.
we're going to do a playoff bracket for the college football playoffs because that starts. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Friday night.
I'm ready.
We're not
Hey.
going to do it yet.
Oh,
We're
okay.
going
No,
to talk
yeah.
about other this, but we do have. It starts Friday night. One game Friday night, that being Bama against Oklahoma in Norman, and then on Saturday are 3 of the other games, uh, the opening round games at the higher seeds home field. So it's going to be a fun, exciting
I
weekend
mean,
of football.
last 2 years we've been beat by Oklahoma. We haven't won in over 2 years.
So the question is, do we finally win at the biggest time ever, or do we lose the third one? And if Simpson didn't play on his game, if he played like he did last time we played against who was it? Against Auburn or against well, our last game was against Auburn, I think. No,
Mm,
against Georgia
yeah,
in
Georgia.
the championship. We're in trouble.
That wasn't very good.
No,
No.
it wasn't very good. Of course, your boy last night had 42 points.
Cooper
Tell us
Flag
about it.
for. I mean, it was great. I told Kennedy while we were watching. Obviously, I love Luca, and Luca is definitely a better player right now. But I told Kennedy I was like, I like the way Cooper Flag plays
Yeah,
better than Luca. Luca, great player, but he can pass, but he would do a lot of step backs, and he
yeah,
would make them great. But if he wouldn't, he wouldn't get back on defense. He would argue with the refs. Cooper does not care. All of a sudden, he is catching the ball, driving straight to the basket. I
yeah,
mean, he's right-handed. That dude only uses his left hand, and he's getting and ones. He's dunking it. I mean, he's just And then
yeah.
on the defensive side, he gets back and then plays some of the best defense you'll ever see. So it
Yeah.
was a great outing for him, and
Well, they
I'm very
lost. How
excited.
come they lost? It's the Utah Jazz, for
Yeah,
goodness sakes.
I wasn't very happy, but well, it went
Was
to
it
overtime.
overtime?
It went to overtime, and I think I'm wrong on this, but Cooper was the only one who scored in overtime. Somebody else maybe had a free throw,
Yeah, the
but
thing about Cooper is compared to Luca, imagine the two of them being on the same team. But anyway, Cooper's more aggressive
yeah,
and more a beast in the lane going to the hoop, I think.
oh no, he is,
I
he
mean,
is,
Luca could have, but he didn't do it a lot. He
yeah.
perimeter guy. So, well, good. Maybe this is that span of time now where Cooper will break out
Oh,
and
yeah, I mean, it
show.
looks like. I mean, he hit a couple pull up threes too, like
Yeah.
transition pull up threes. So yeah, he looks like he's sprouting.
Well, it's funny how a year ago we thought surely at some point in life in the future, Luca will have a statue out on Victory Plaza.
He would have, yeah,
He would have, yeah, yeah. But now a year later, we're saying it's probably going to be Cooper
yeah.
Flag. I can't imagine that we would have another GM stupid enough to trade away a
No,
Cooper Flag in 5 years.
if Cooper leaves, it'll be because Cooper wants to
Yeah,
leave. So
yeah, I can't imagine that. So there you have it for our, yeah, nothing else on the local sports fronts going on. There's a lot going on in sports, as
what
I
we got?
just mentioned.
Is Waxahachie basketball going on?
Yeah, but
We
because of the playoff run with the football team, it's kind of been quiet.
yeah, we have a family member on Kennedy's side that plays for Waxahachie, and I think they've been doing good. So I guess that's a little update, but I'm
Cool. Yeah,
not for sure.
I haven't been to a basketball game here in 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
really. Um, So a lot's going on in our country. We normally have a segment called Tornations where we talk about what in the world's going on around here. And there's so much of that that we're just going to roll right into some other things before we get to our block sets here and share with you those things. But I just want to start with the Clintons. Both Bill and Hillary Clinton have been notified by the Oversight Committee in Washington that they will have to appear January the 13th and 14th, I believe it is, in front of the Oversight Committee to talk about all sorts of things, not the least of which would be Epstein
Hmm.
and what's going on there. The Clintons have said, well, they got a funeral that day, and or Bill does, and they're not sure they can make it. The Oversight Committee came out, the chairman, James Comer, came out today and said, if you don't show up, then it's contempt of Congress, and contempt of Congress leads to a jail term of not less than 30 days and not more than a year.
So what it's looking like they don't want to
They don't know.
talk
Well, they definitely don't want to talk. And so
about Epstein specifically. Yeah.
yeah, because you go into an oversight committee meeting like that, you're under oath, you have to tell the truth, or you have to plead the fifth, then it's going to be obvious that the
Yeah.
Clintons have something to hide and that they are hiding it. On the other hand, if they tell the truth, then they're going to pay the price for that. But it's, all these years, I don't know about what you guys think, but for me, somebody that obviously is a deep, deep hearted, if you want to call it that, heartfelt conservative, as is Sammy at a young age, it's high time that the Clintons had to sit before somebody and answer for their behaviors. Uh, the ultimate day for all of us is Judgment Day,
Mhm.
and so that's none of my business. I need to worry about my own life when it comes to Judgment Day. But while I'm here, the people like the Clintons have to be held accountable, and they've gotten away with literally, well, maybe not literally, I don't want to say that, but gotten away with murder all these years, and it's time they sat down and had to explain themselves about certain things.
I agree.
Um, so we'll keep you informed of that. That will be great television
Mm-hmm.
if it's televised, and normally they are. So we'll see. January 13th and 14th, or 15th and 16th, something like that, is when the Clintons have to go before the Oversight Committee.
Speaking of televised or cameras, just a little update. The judge in the Charlie Kirk case has allowed
Cameras,
cameras in the courtroom. I think whatever his name's attorneys and stuff were trying to push for none, and the judge said,
whose attorney is the killer's attorney?
yeah,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
his name is. So
yeah. That will be a both. There'll be a compelling trial if there is a trial, or whether or not the guy pleads guilty.
yeah, I don't
The
either.
guy that killed those four students in Idaho in 2022 uh, dragged it out,
Pleading
never
not guilty.
indicating that he was going to plead guilty, and then it got to trial time, and he pled guilty.
Yeah,
Be interesting to see if that's what happens with, I forget the guy's name,
it's Tyler Robinson.
Tyler Robinson, who killed Charlie Kirk, allegedly, which I think is pretty obvious he did. So we'll see, but that will be compelling television.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Kirks,
Oh
yesterday,
yeah, yeah.
Erica Kirk sat down 4.5 hour meeting with Candace Owens. Candace Owens, as many of you may know, a conservative. Matter of fact, she spoke at my alma mater in Montgomery, Alabama, years ago at the big event we have every October. We have a well-known, nationally known, internationally known speaker. People like uh, Trump Jr. We've had Bill O'Reilly, Tony Blair, Prime Minister of England. We've had Cameron Bure. I don't know how she says it, but the actress. Uh, and so Candace was there not long ago, really, but within the last 5 years, and she's kind of gone off the reservation, as it were, and making all kinds of assertions.
I liked what she was doing at first because it to me it still seems kind of fishy, but when it first happened, it seemed very fishy, and I liked what she was doing, but she turned to taking stabs at Turning Point and kind of attacking them and having a back and forth with them, and it just I get I get you love Charlie, but Charlie's life work was Turning Point, so if you're gonna use your platform to
Blast his company.
blast his company or have an argument or whatever you want to call it with them
Yeah.
over social media and stuff like that. I just don't like that at all because
Well, and
Charlie, that Charlie Turning Point is Charlie, so I don't you
yeah.
don't tear down Turning Point.
Well, plus, that and in doing so, she implied or even stated, I think, that she thought members of Charlie's family, his work family, and his literal family, even I don't know if
Erica,
yeah, had something to do with Charlie's murder.
yeah.
So Erica said, enough is enough. And so they met yesterday for 4.5 hours. We'll see.
I haven't heard anything. I didn't even
Well,
know
I,
it was
I did
for
read the story this morning about Erica saying they had a good meeting and they did agree on some things, disagreed on others, but we'll see if they both share their perceptions or their summaries of that meeting.
Okay.
But that was important. Epstein, this stuff continues to float around. The left in Washington D.C. I'm telling you, drives me crazy. And for 4 years, never heard a word about Epstein while Biden was in office. And now all of a sudden, in the past year, that's all we hear about. So if they were going to get Trump, they would have gotten Trump. They haven't gotten Trump, so there is no goods on Trump, no matter what you do,
Exactly.
doctor photos or Photoshop this, Photoshop that. But it continues to prevail. That's what the Clintons will have to testify to in part. So I just think it's really it's disrespectful to our country to use the Epstein stuff as a tool. I mean, the guy's a pedophile, disgusting human being, and yet he's used as a tool, and it's just getting old.
It is.
Um,
I agree.
I'm about to pen a column about how the worst of things, whether it's hate, disgust, uh, all kinds of other behaviors, not including or adding to that people like Epstein and other bad people in this world. Instead of moving on, learning and moving on from them, we hang on to them in this country and use them as tools. So I'm going to write a column about how hate, claims of racism, claims of this or that are used not for the truth of the matter, but as tools. So you get in a conversation with somebody on the left and you are apparently making progress in the conversation, it won't be long before they accuse you of being racist
Mhm.
or being hateful. Or that happens to me often.
Yeah, I mean, yep, happens I mean like calling people Nazis,
Yeah, I mean,
stuff like I mean it's just
if you want to know somebody's on the losing end of a conversation, listen to what they say about the person they're debating.
yeah.
So people that want to come out and call other people haters or Hitler or Nazis or whatever, they've lost the argument, and that's all they can resort to. It's just sad that we do that in this
And
country.
it's dangerous.
It is
I
dangerous,
mean,
really
it's
dangerous.
yeah.
Minnesota is, we know, a cesspool right now. We have the Somalis that have evidently, and I don't mean to paint a broad picture of a nation, but the Somalis that are in Minneapolis or Minnesota have been accused of more than $1 billion in fraud right underneath old Tim Walden's nose.
Hmm.
Cracks me up to hear Jesse Waters and others on TV constantly refer to him as Tampon Tim. But we have a state, a quality state. It's always been a blue state. Matter of fact, you're too young to know this, but when Reagan ran in 1980, I believe it was, he won 49 states. It was the
Oh
landslide of
wow.
all landslides. The only state he didn't win was Minnesota, and that was because his opponent was from Minnesota.
Okay.
And so today we have Minnesota as the poster child for the biggest fraud that we know of in a state in circumstances like this, right under Tim Walden's nose, which makes you wonder whether or not he's a part of it. Same with Ilhan Omar. But I read this morning that Michelle Tafoya, you won't remember her, Sammy, but she was really the breakthrough female sideline reporter
Okay.
years ago, and very good at it. And so she's now an activist, and she's on Gutfeld and others.
What makes a good reporter? Like what
She,
it
well, she what makes a good reporter when it comes
like
to
just the
anything,
questions
but
they ask
yeah,
or
I mean, it's that they're knowledgeable. They know what they're
okay.
talking about. So it's not, hey, coach, your team's down by 400 at halftime. Um, what do you say to your offense or to
Yeah.
your defense? Well, as opposed to a reporter who would say, coach, it seems like the linebackers are having an issue picking up this or picking up that. What 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 needs to
Okay.
happen? Things like that. Michelle Tafoya was very good.
I don't know why I thought the questions were scripted
Well, I'm sure they're prepared.
yeah.
Some networks may script them, but
Yeah.
Michelle Tafoya was good, and now she's considering running for
Okay.
Senate seat in Minnesota, which would be a breakthrough in that state. So we're looking forward
Is
to
she red?
see. Yeah, oh yeah, big
Oh,
time.
okay.
Yeah, for sure. So there's that I wanted to share with you guys. So let's talk about this past weekend. Just
Yeah.
describe for me what your weekend, not personally, but your weekend as a member of the world, what do you feel about it?
Um I'm just I mean, what was it? Which one happened first? Was it
Brown,
so you hear Brown,
Brown
you,
University.
you know, you pray, you do whatever, it's sad, you just wow. Then the next day or however long, there's a mass shooting at a beach in Australia.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's honestly scary. And we've been talking about going to the range and stuff, and it kind of comforts me and assures me that I would want to have protection like that. And
Yeah.
um,
So you had Brown University, which was Friday night. If you then
Friday,
factor
Friday,
in factor Friday night our time,
yeah,
in our country, if you factor in the time difference between us and Australia, Friday night here would be, let's say Friday night at 6 o'clock here would be
Saturday
Saturday
night.
morning in
Oh,
the dark hours. And I'm sorry, Sunday morning in the
oh yeah, Sunday
wait a
morning.
minute, let me
Yeah,
think.
it should be Sunday morning.
Yeah, Sunday morning in the early
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
And so what happened at Bondi Beach in Australia would have happened uh, n- hours after Brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
In real time.
that's right. It felt like just like this, like it
Yeah.
was happening. But yeah, it was,
It was a
and
matter
then
of probably 6 or 7 or 8 hours, something like that.
we don't have the video I'm about to talk about. We have a separate one, but we have that. You see the video of this absolute hero of a man,
Yep.
taking the gun, and I'm sure I don't know what videos you saw, but there's videos of them just shooting and
Yeah, we're going to show you this video of it's pronounced Bondi Beach in Australia, heavily Jewish. It was the beginning of Hanukkah in over there in Australia, and there are multiple videos of a man uh, of men taking the weapons away
yeah,
from the shooter. Now, one of them, this isn't the one we're going to show. One of them shows the guy coming up behind the shooter wrestling with him and eventually getting the gun from him. And then he essentially got the shooter,
and
he doesn't
he
shoot
didn't.
him.
Okay,
He didn't shoot him. But then what you're about to see, and Samuel will cue it up, you're about to see a different one. This one, the first one I mentioned was in a park. It looked like a park across the street from the beach. This one is, as you will note, unless it's been messed with, and I don't think it has. It was from a credible news site that we got this. Is in traffic, or where cars are parked. So go ahead and play that, Sammy, and let's just take a look at what's happening here. They got sound to
no,
it?
there's no
No.
sound. You can see him hit the ground hard.
Which guy?
It looked like the
The hero
civilian.
guy?
No, yeah, the hero.
Yeah. This guy, I believe, was shot. One of the heroes, because this is
I think it was him.
all right. This is a different guy than the other one, I
Oh,
think.
yeah, yeah, I think so too.
This guy that you just saw was, as the news media has been, to quote them, riddled with bullets, and he's in the hospital. He's going to live. He's given interviews, but he said that he could not do that. regardless of the risk, which I applaud. That's the definition of a hero. And this guy was shot up. That
Yeah, I
guy
mean
right there.
that's what I would do, and I hope that's what anybody else would do. But
Well, that's the question. Let me set the stage, and then I want to talk to you about really the crux of the matter for me, besides the obvious racial hatred or ethnic. It's not racial; it's more ethnic uh, hatred that these two guys, a father son, just like us,
hmm
uh, went to a beach across the street from the beach, within shooting distance, with high-powered rifles, and killed. I believe it's up to 11 people, if not maybe 15 now. But we're just picking people off, and these guys, it looked like they had on, the father and son had on vests.
it looked
Uh,
like all dark clothing,
yeah,
just
it looked like they were prepared to
yeah.
be in combat, but they were just picking people off. And in the other video that we didn't show you, where the one of these heroes came up behind the father and wrestled the gun away from him, and then held the gun on him, didn't shoot him, which is pretty amazing. Uh, but the father was eventually killed, and the son is in critical condition in the hospital. But the question for me is, if we've heard about Charlotte, we've heard about we saw the video of the young lady getting stabbed in the neck in Charlotte from behind her, right? We've heard about there was another stabbing in Charlotte on a train. We've heard about and seen reports on mm, women in the subway in New York, being doused with gasoline and lit on fire and killed. There are not, I wouldn't say they're countless, but there are other examples where in those settings, people just, the young lady in Charlotte, when she was stabbed in the neck,
Yeah,
people
that
sitting all right here, and people behind her just got up and walked out. And so we see a scene in Australia, which, by the way, Australia has some of the strictest gun laws in the
that's
world.
what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, not preach, but I hope people, if you're comfortable, try and carry. I don't know the laws on Australia, but if
That you
somebody
can't.
you
You
can't,
can't. No,
okay.
matter of fact, I don't even think the police carry guns in
I was
Australia.
because I was gonna say, if imagine if one person, one civilian had a
Yeah.
firearm,
Yeah.
but yeah, I didn't know if it was banned or if
Yeah.
they were
Well,
allowed
it's
to.
banned. It's very strict gun laws. Matter of
Okay,
fact, the police, from what I understand, the police on the beach did
didn't.
nothing.
Okay,
There was nothing done by law enforcement while those dudes were shooting, and the dudes were shooting for 30 minutes. All
that's
right.
just absolutely insane.
It is insane. So the question really is, why do we not see that kind of response here in America? Why do we see men who are older, you know, plump, bald like me, turn into heroes to try to stop mass killings at their own peril? And one of them was shot up and in the hospital. Why in America do we not see the same thing? Why do we not see people, countless people, really, on the train in Charlotte, after a girl gets stabbed, just ignore the whole scene? Nobody tried to help her.
My my guess is not one of the. If you were to ask any of those people on this train, not probably not one of them believes in Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, maybe
And I
not.
think that's a big. If you believe in Jesus Christ, you feel propelled or
Compelled.
compelled to help people.
Hmm.
And I mean, I get it if you don't want to try and defend. If you're a girl and you don't want to go and try and defend it or like attack a dude with that has a
Yeah,
knife, but
yeah.
nobody got up and helped the girl. The girl literally sat there and just
And
died.
bled out.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, when you get stabbed in the neck, I don't know if there's much that can be done to save you,
No,
but
but yeah,
nobody, man or woman, young or old, stopped to help the young lady. It's one thing to, like these guys went into real peril because a guy was shooting,
yeah,
just like for the people in Charlotte. While the guy had stabbed the woman, it would have been at their own risk if they'd have tried to tackle him. They might have got
yeah,
stabbed. Although I don't know that I could avoid doing what these guys in Australia did. I would do the same thing, I
yeah.
think.
Me too. Yeah,
But I can understand why some people would not try to intervene. But what I can't understand is why anyone would refuse to go help somebody that's bleeding out
yeah.
and dying. I don't
That
get
that's
that.
the part I didn't understand.
So it really boils down to w- have we become what have we become in America? Australia showed elements of courage and heroism. you look at similar scenes here, and do we have that? Do we not? So for those of you watching, those of us in the studio here, Sammy and I, Sammy and me, or I, would we do the same thing? I want to believe both father and son here. We would.
I would.
Would you? Is the question. If somebody were being shot, or if there was, mass shooting going on, would you do what you could to try to intervene and save people? If it was a stabbing or whatever, we got to be known for doing something. And I agree that being compelled because of love for humanity often comes from uh, Christian faith and that sort of thing. Uh,
Yeah,
but
if you don't
but
love Jesus, you don't love.
even if you're not a Christian, isn't it in us to say we got to defend people?
You would think so.
You would think
I
so.
would hope so.
So there you have it. It's an awful story. These two father and son cowards, or one's dead, the other will maybe not. I don't know if he'll make it or not, but I don't wish. I mean, I hope what he gets what he deserves. Uh, both of them, again, like all of us, will experience Judgment Day, at which time they will really learn what they deserve. So there you have it with what's going on in Australia. With going back to Brown University is now Friday, so we got Saturday all day, Sunday, Monday. Today's Tuesday, so let's call it 4 days. Still no suspects been arrested. They did arrest, or not arrest, but they sat down with a.
Wait, I thought there was pictures and
There
stuff.
they did. There
Okay.
was that was a well-decorated military guy that they were talking to, but they've released him.
Oh, wow.
So now, right now, there is no suspect
Wow.
that's known, or at least reported to be known or in custody. And so 4 days later, and that's in Providence, Rhode Island, blue state. Uh, uh, right now, I think the school's not in lockdown, but I think the residents of that city have been told to pay attention to your surroundings, be careful, don't go out if you don't have to, that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
there's a killer on the loose. And then the
Goodness.
third event that happened over the weekend. So we had Friday night in Providence. About 6 or 7 to 8 hours later, although in Australia, so it appeared to be 2 days later, but it wasn't. We had a mass shooting. I do think it's 15 people were killed. And then Sunday afternoon here in the United States, 5 or 5:30 our time, somewhere in that neighborhood, Rob Reiner. For those of you of my generation, we remember Rob Reiner as Meathead in All in the Family,
Mm.
a funny show. A straight in your face show for sure. Uh, we knew him for that. We knew him for directing other movies like When Harry Met Sally and others. And but most recently, we know of Rob Reiner, or about Rob Reiner, because of his activism and hatred against and hatred for Donald Trump.
Mm.
But he and his wife, 68 and 78 years old, he's 78, were murdered by their son, who is now in jail under $4 million bond. Troubled young man, obviously had been addicted, may still be addicted, but been homeless, been in and out of rehab. I don't know how many times, 17 times, something like that. Uh, got into a fight at a party, Conan O'Brien's party, Friday night. Uh, or Saturday night, and then that led to what happened Sunday afternoon,
Wow.
in the murder of Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. We're going to show you. Certainly, we're not going to be disrespectful to anybody who's lost their life, even those we don't like. Trump has come out and said that he believes that the son of Rob Reiner was provoked by Rob Reiner's language and hatred for Donald Trump. Who knows if that? I don't have any idea. I don't even want to make that the focus. But something compelled the young man to murder his parents. But here are a couple of videos of Rob Reiner uh, exemplifying, or it gives you a sense of what he's been doing over these past several years that Trump has been in office. So, Samuel, let's play it.
Candidate Trump, who actually tells you he's going to govern like an authoritarian. He says it. Yeah. It's not a mystery. And you've got to make a choice. You have to make a choice. Do we want fascism, or do we want to continue the 248 years of self-rule?
I'm Rob Reiner, and America, we've got a problem.
We've been attacked by a foreign enemy power, and our president refuses to defend us. This is just the beginning, and people have to understand our democracy is being taken away from us. Make no mistake, we have a year before this country becomes a full-on autocracy and democracy completely leaves us. And we're looking at the election in 2026, and Donald Trump knows, he knows that in a free and fair election, he will lose. He will lose the House. The House will flip and will become into Democratic hands. People care about their pocketbook issues, the price of eggs. They care about their health care, and they should. Those are the things that directly affect them. But if they lose their democracy, all of these rights, the freedom of speech, the freedom to pray the way you want, the freedom to protest and not go to jail, not be sent out of the country with no due process, all these things will be taken away from them. You have one candidate, Trump, who actually tells you he's going to govern like an authoritarian.
We'll play another one here in just a second. You know, the thing I would say, I'm going to say about Rob Reiner is that obviously a talented guy, a Hollywood legend. Not that that should really impress too many people. I mean, Hollywood is a cesspool of all kinds of stuff, bad stuff. But he's talented. He knew how to make movies. He was talented as meathead. He's an articulate guy. You know, I don't begrudge anybody on the left who can articulate their views. In this case, I think there's a bit of what they now call TDS, which is Trump derangement syndrome, because you have Rob Reiner saying things that just demonstrably are not true. So when you hear him say, "Well, Trump's acting like a fascist or authoritarian," which is what they're saying is a dictator.
Yeah.
But then they go on to talk about how they actually don't just talk about it, they do it. They protest. They're able to say whatever they want to say about Donald Trump in an authoritarian country, a dictatorship. Matter of fact, just use Venezuela. Use Russia. Can you imagine anybody, whether they're famous or not, in that country, particularly the famous who have a big following, getting on a video on TikTok or whatever they have in Russia and hammering away at Putin? You think we'll see the guy or the lady the next day?
Nope.
Chances are we won't. Do you think that all these protests, you know, there are protests that we don't want kings in this country, which in and of itself is an act of contradiction, because in a country where it's run by a king, or a dictator, there would be no protest. Rob Reiner talks about us losing our democracy. I don't know, but I haven't lost any part of my freedoms, not one.
Nobody has. I mean,
and then he talks about the price of groceries going down. Inflation's going to go straight down. Wages in 2026 are going to go straight up. All these economic things that Trump is going to do again, as he did in his first term, would suggest that we're not under just again, demonstrably, just look at it and say, well, of course, that's not a dictatorship. A dictatorship doesn't care so much about the people. It really does. I mean, look at North Korea, look at Putin, look at Venezuela. They don't care. Those people are dying. They're starving. They're blocked off from the rest of the world.
Yep.
So we listen to Reiner say these things, but they're nowhere near the truth. And so I feel for a guy who obviously he didn't know it, but he spent his last years in life on this earth actively going after a guy that wants America to succeed. Right?
Yep.
So I feel for him. Let's play that other video. I think it may be a bit softer. It's along the same lines. I just wanted to show it just to see if there's any difference in the way he articulated things in the second one and the first one.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Journalism is under attack. We see the President of the United States calling it the enemy of the people, fake news. And this is a story about four guys who are trying to get the truth out and how difficult it is to get the truth out when there are incredible headwinds. And that's what journalists are facing right now.
And that brings us to this next point. We're seeing the President of the United States attacking Canada's Prime Minister. I wanted to get your take on how you read into that.
Well, it's awful. It's awful. I mean, Canada is, we share a long, long border with Canada. There's no fences, no walls, there's no military. We have the best relationship with Canada, and then all the other members of the G7. These are our allies. These are Americans' allies. They've been our allies forever. And for him to denigrate our allies at the same time that he's cozying up to authoritarians like Putin and Erdogan and Duterte, and now with Kim Jong-un, it's pretty disturbing for us who care, for those of us who care about democracy.
Again, Reiner is a guy who unfortunately lived the last years of his life in an unsettled mood, obviously, politically speaking, anyway. And that's the only time I ever saw Rob Reiner in the past 10 years.
I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah.
So, but
Had you seen him voicing his opinions about politics at all?
no.
Okay, so those of us who knew who he was and saw or were on sites where he was more prevalent, usually on X, we know that what he's known for the past 10 years or 8 years is what we just saw. And again,
I mean, what was he like during the Biden administration? Was
well,
he
it was quiet.
quiet?
Yeah, I mean, when I say the last 6 or 8 years, I'm talking about specifically related to Trump.
Yeah.
Now, because Trump was quiet for the first couple of years of Biden's presidency,
Mhm.
and then when he decided to run again, that's when all this started back up.
Okay.
But Rob Reiner and folks like him just say things without really understanding what it is they're saying. And there's a difference between journalism and fake journalism. Journalism that I've been around all my adult life and my whole career, 40 years, is been as honest and truthful as we know it can be. And but when you look at the mainstream media, that's fake news. I mean, we saw Rachel Maddow, by example, just won the Walter Cronkite Award in the setting that she won, a very small place. Other like-minded reporters in the room that chose her. I mean, this is a woman who has lied about everything Trump touches. She lies about, and yet she was recognized as their winner for the Walter Cronkite Award. It's just an amazing experience. So that's the kind of Trump is not talking about journalism. Trump welcomes journalism just like we all should. We've got to have it. And our country, our cities, and our big or small will implode if there's not an honest, credible media force in that city. And so that's why the Sun exists. But he's got it mixed up. And journalism is not under attack. Fake news is under attack, and it should be under attack. So that's it for Rob Reiner. It's an awful story.
Rest in peace
Yeah,
to both
rest in
him and his
peace.
wife.
Yeah.
I pray for his son. Hopefully, he can.
Yeah,
you
Nick
know,
is his name. Nick Reiner.
Yeah.
He'll be in prison the rest of his life.
as he should be.
So that was our weekend, if you can believe it was your weekend too. And not sure how in depth aware you were of things, but we'll be talking more about Brown and we'll follow up with Rob Reiner on Thursday. Let's talk about something much more pleasant, although the Crimson Tide can drive me to drink. Many of you know that I'm a big-time Alabama Crimson Tide fan and have been for now, 15 years, something like that. I think Sammy, it's fair to say, is a Tide fan.
Yep.
And so we made it to the playoffs, surprisingly. I didn't think we would, but we did. So this Friday night at 7:00, we play Oklahoma Sooners, who for the past 2 years, when we played them, beat us. They beat us, spanked us in Norman 2 years ago, and then just last month beat us, in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, and I have a good friend who is a Oklahoma fan, so I have heard nothing but trash talk for the past 2 years. So
Yeah, so we're gonna
Friday
find
means a
out.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a win or go home deal. And so if Bama wins, whoever wins the Oklahoma Bama game, which I say Bama will win, will play Indiana.
Oh,
So
I didn't know
Sammy and
that.
yeah, so Sammy and I are gonna fill out this bracket real quick, and we're gonna stick with it because, well, we'll have a show on Thursday, but we're gonna stick with this one today, all right? Because you
Okay.
won't be on the show Thursday. So let's start away. We'll end with Bama.
Okay.
All right, game. So let's start with Miami University against Texas A&M.
Texas A&M
Why?
because they went almost undefeated in the SEC.
Yeah. So the question will be: it's Marcel
Marcel
Reed,
Reed versus
Carson.
Carson Beck.
Yeah, Carson Beck. So we've got two.
And Miami snuck in, didn't they?
Miami snuck in
Yeah.
because it was either Miami or Notre Dame. Miami got in. So it's Miami against Texas A&M. That game is on Saturday.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I got
so
A&M.
we got A&M. All right,
A&M.
I'll go with you on that.
Okay.
All right. So no disagreement there. Another game on those are the number 10 seed being Miami against number 7 seed A&M. Then on Saturday is the number 11 seed Tulane against the number 6 seed Ole Miss. So you got.
Ole Miss.
Do you think Tulane has a chance at all?
No.
So Tulane played Ole Miss at Ole Miss. This is where the game is again earlier this year and lost big time.
They did? They
Yeah,
already played?
they already played.
And Tulane lost.
Tulane lost.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of like
Tu-
Alabama and Oklahoma this year because we've already played once and we lost. In this
Tu-
case, we're saying that we lost, Alabama lost, but we're going to come back and beat.
yeah.
In this case, we're saying Ole Miss has already beat Tulane
They're gonna do
once,
it
but we
again.
would have said it even if they hadn't played Tulane this year,
Yeah.
and Ole Miss will win again.
Tulane is like I'm guessing every year from now on we're gonna have a team like Tulane in the playoffs where we have like the four buys, the four big conference
Yeah.
team conference winners. Then they have to throw in a smaller conference.
Well, we got two of
team.
them this year. The next game is got one of them. So we've got Tulane, Ole Miss beating Tulane.
Yeah.
All right. James Madison versus
I
Oregon.
forgot about that. Yeah, Oregon.
All right. So
It's not gonna
so
be close.
Oregon's going to beat James Madison. I'm pretty safe bet. That's the number 12 seed versus number 5 seed. That game is in Oregon. That's in Eugene.
Well, it's like James Madison can be a great team, but they'll probably still lose. Just like who's the best Alabama team you've ever seen? Do you think the best Alabama team you've ever seen could beat like the worst NFL team, like the Browns, like the 2016 Browns?
Probably not.
No, right? It's gonna
Yeah.
be like the Browns will probably whoop them. It's just
Yeah, I don't know about whoop 'em. I think the best Alabama team that I've ever seen, which goes back to, I don't know if it
AJ
was,
McCarron's team.
no, it
No,
would have been, it might have been an AJ McCarron team, but it might have been I'm trying to remember if we had a 12-0 season. We did, but I can't remember which team. But anyway,
yeah,
back when we beat Clemson and Drake had that long touchdown,
yeah.
we would give them a good run for their money.
Okay,
Whether we'd win or not, I mean, Cleveland was pretty bad.
yeah.
All right, so then we get to Alabama and Oklahoma. We know we got Alabama. Let's go back over. So
Okay.
now we're into the quarterfinals. Texas A&M against Ohio State all these will be played on a neutral field.
Neutral site, yeah.
Yeah. So A&M or Ohio State.
Who do you have?
You know what? I think I'm gonna go with A&M.
I got A&M.
Right.
I think Ohio State's a bunch of frauds. I don't know what their
Well, they had a
schedule
weak
was.
schedule.
Yeah,
including Michigan.
yeah. I don't.
Which, by the way, what a story.
Same
that
with
Michigan.
Notre Dame. Notre Dame's schedule was horrible,
Yeah,
and
it
they're
was
over there
horrible.
crying. If they would join a conference,
Yeah.
Do good in that conference, then you'd have a.
I totally agree.
Don't they choose their whole schedule? They're an independent school, so they schedule every single one of their games.
Yeah.
So how about schedule some good games
Yeah.
and win
I agree.
them?
I agree. Yeah. All right. So we got A&M beating Ohio State. Then
Yep.
we got Georgia against Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
All right. I'm gonna go.
I'm not too big on Gunnar Stockton. I don't. He
Yeah.
he just doesn't impress me. I don't know.
All right. I'll agree with you. Ole Miss. All right. Ole Miss for me, part of that is emotional or heart rather than mine because I want them to do well to show
Without,
Kiffin they
yeah.
don't need him. All right, so then we jump over to the other side and we got Texas Tech versus Oregon.
I'll let you go.
That's number 4 against number 5 seed. I've got Texas Tech.
I got Texas Tech.
All right, so Tech, because Tech is a powerhouse. Their defense, you're talking about studs on defense now. They got a linebacker, Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Won every award you can imagine this year. They're I don't know why they wouldn't be healthy, but Texas Tech's
They're
gonna be hard to
dangerous.
beat. Yep.
Yeah.
Then we got Alabama against Indiana. Fernando Mendoza, Heisman Trophy winner.
Did you see what Diego Pavia
Yeah,
did?
Diego Pavia said some pretty nasty stuff
And then
about
came
the
out and
Heisman. Yeah,
apologized. But like, dude, that's just so kiddish.
yeah.
I'll go ahead and take Indiana.
All right.
I'll go ahead and do
All right. I'm gonna split that in two. So
it.
Sammy, I'll put SS as you. Sammy Scott got Indiana, and Dad has SB has Alabama. All right. So then we go back over to the semifinals.
Okay.
A&M versus Ole Miss.
I'm gonna go Ole Miss. I'm gonna go Ole Miss. I
Ole
think they win that
Miss.
game.
All right. So I'm gonna give you
That's funny. I don't even know who their quarterback is or.
Ole Miss is Trinidad.
Oh yeah.
Ole
Yeah.
Miss, Sammy, and
You
then
have A&M?
I'm gonna go A&M.
Okay.
I know. I'm not doing this to please my A&M buddies out there, but A&M. I think A&M. If
Yeah.
they're on, Marcel Reed's on, it's game over. But Trinidad, I forget his last name, but
I think is Trinidad not his last. Oh, Trinidad Chamberlain. Is that
Chamberlain, Chambliss. I don't know, something
Chambliss?
like
I
that.
don't
But
know.
yeah, I don't know if it's his last name or first name now that you bring that up.
Yeah.
But he's a stud too. So we'll see. We got
Okay.
all right, and then on the other side, you've got Indiana against Tech.
Texas Tech, and I'll go ahead and take Texas Tech.
All right, and I've got Alabama against Texas Tech, and I'm going to say Tech.
Okay.
So that's the Big 12 versus the SEC. We got Texas Tech in the championship game. We've got Texas Tech versus I've got them versus A&M. You got them versus Ole Miss.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. I got Texas Tech too. So
Texas
Sammy and I
Tech.
agree, although we get there different, that it's Tech winning the national championship
Yeah,
this
you
year.
know what they say, defense
Wins championships,
defense
right?
wins championships.
So we got Tech winning the whole enchilada. That'll be cool if that happens.
Yeah, well,
So we'll
I
see.
don't do you have any hate or dislike for Tech
No,
per se? No.
nope. I don't have nope. In the name of the Dorsets, Scott,
Yeah.
Kennedy, Jonna, and Logan. I hope Tech wins, and we'll just see. I want Alabama to win the whole thing, but
Yeah. I want Alabama to win. I don't think they'll win.
that's going to be a bit painful for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else I wanted us to cover. We're going to be talking about AI and in the weeks to come because AI I just had a little tutor session yesterday with a dear friend of mine. For about an hour and a half, just showing him the various ways he and his world of business and personal life can take advantage of AI. For those of you that are watching that don't use AI, I would encourage you to explore with it. It is phenomenal. Now, it also has to be validated and verified, so you can't just take everything that AI tells you
No,
and just run
I
with
mean,
it.
speaking of that, the way I do the numbers is I go
Go to
on.
AI.
Well, yeah, I used to just go straight from AI, but AI will lie to you. So now I have to have a computer and I just double check. But I mean, I love AI. I use ChatGPT all the time. I've pretty much substituted it for Safari or your regular browsing.
Well, we're gonna have segments on AI and what it can do, what are the myths, that sort of thing. Can you take our video and edit it such that only one little segment is seen? Do you know?
Y- well, I use an AI thing to do that,
Okay.
but I think I can tell the AI what
All
to
right, because
do,
I'm
and
gonna
I
I'm
can
gonna
try
share
my
some
best.
things here before we close that may mean that we don't have to do extra work later.
Okay.
Anyway, so one of the things I've done is I wrote a column in July uh, about AI, and it's called "A Day in Dallas 2065." I'm not going to read it to you because it's a column that I want you to read later, but I'm going to read the first paragraph. So the first things a person in 2065, given the saturation of AI into the world, new technologies into the world, so on and so forth. This is this getting up at 6:45. This is what I have projected will be like. And
Okay.
when you are, that's 40 years from now, when you are
40,
my, you're my
61,
age.
yeah.
Yeah. 6:45, wake up. The blinds fade open automatically, matching the sunrise. Well, the actual sunrise, not a projection. Dallas's climate grid has learned to regulate air quality, so even in July, the morning sky is clear and crisp. My apartment's wall surface shifts from sleep mode to active. So the wall
Okay.
changes from sleep mode to active, projecting my schedule in the corner somewhere while quietly balancing the air temperature based on my biometrics.
Okay, well, if you think it's gonna be nice, cold, or breeze and crisp in July in Dallas,
That's what it, no,
ni
it's going to make, you're going
nil
to,
and void.
well, when you wake up inside your place, that's, you're going to feel based on how your AI says your body is. Are you achy? Are you sick? Are you happy? Are you discouraged? Are you whatever?
Okay.
It's going to create, without you doing anything, it's going to create the environment, the climate environment inside your place
Okay.
specifically for you.
Okay.
It says,
Okay. Yeah, that's
okay,
fine.
then my health AI has already run a night cycle scan of you. Blood sugar optimal, hydration slightly low. A nanobot sample has taken at 3 a.m. You didn't even know it. Confirmed my immune system is responding to the seasonal allergy surge. So the system micro adjusted my antihistamine dose without waking me up. That's how a day will begin in 2065 using projected AI and projected technology. All right, and later
I don't know if I would like
well,
that.
you know what? I'll give you the first line of the next thing. 7 a.m. breakfast. I don't shop for food anymore. The kitchen fabricator pulls my breakfast from nutrient cartridges and vertical garden green.
Oh
So
my
you
god.
eat a pod,
No. That
but your experience isn't what you and I think it to be. The experience is you have breakfast.
well, yeah, but
All
I
right,
like the experience
you're going to
of
experience it.
going to shop, and I like the experience of turning on my air conditioner and fighting it in the middle of the
You're
night.
not going to have that
I
option. You're not
I'm
going to have that
going
option.
to have that.
No.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna be.
In other words, you're going to be, ironically, Archie Bunker, who was Meathead's dad he was an old timer, just
Yeah.
the, you're going to be like I am, or I'm not, but some people in my generation are like, I am not using AI. I am not using
That's
new
what I'm gonna be
technology.
like. Yeah.
You're going to be using today's stuff at a time
Yeah.
when that's going to feel like old antique
Just give
relic.
me Chat GPT. That's what
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
Okay, give you chat. Okay, so well, we're gonna have this column coming soon so that you guys can see what a day in the life of a Texan, somebody in Dallas, is in 2065. You already know about Jasmine Crockett running for Senate. We will have a lot more to say about that. Matter of fact, we're going to take a deep dive into how Jasmine Crockett was convinced that she should run for Senate because anybody with an IQ of
I
2
don't think she's convinced.
would know that somebody like her running in Texas is a dumb idea, but she was baited into it and she fell for it. And so now she's kind of stuck, and we're going to explore that a little bit. All right.
Do you have your
Normally,
true facts?
what's that?
True
Yeah, true
facts.
facts. I'm going to share that with you. Let me tell you that our show is brought to you by
Oh
Hoosier
yeah.
Custom Meats. Hoosier is HOOSER Custom Meats. They're in Italy, Texas, and produce great meats, great food. They got a sample coming to us, excuse me, this week. We're excited about that. We'll be able to
Yeah.
tell you really how good it is, but we know it's good. We've had people tell us how great it is. So they sponsor this show, and we're pleased and we're appreciative that they do. Hoosier Custom Meats, HOOSER CustomMeats.com. You can call them at 903 688 1446, 903 688 1446. Tell them that Scott and Sammy sent you, and they'll take care of you later, Terry. All right, our true facts that sound like they're not. Are you ready, Sammy?
All right, let's go.
True or false? Early footballs were made out of pigskins.
True.
You hear it called pigskin,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah.
False.
Oh, okay.
Even though the football is colloquially, I have a hard time with that word, in just conversations, referred to as the pigskin, it has never actually been made from pigskins, made from cows. So anyway, when you
Cow
say
skin. Then
pigskin, you're actually not talking about factually, you're not talking about the football the right way. So there you have it. Sammy, thank you for joining Dad today. I'm glad you're on here. I want to have you more often. And again, Sammy and I may do our own show, Brooks Amplified, something like that. So we're working on that. Um, we will see you on Thursday, so we'll wish you a Merry Christmas then. But I will tell you now that for the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's, we will not have a show. So we're going to take 2 weeks off starting next week, so that we can spend time with our families and all that sort of thing. But thank you for being here today. We really appreciate it. We value every single one of you. We appreciate you taking the time. So with that, have a great afternoon. Stay warm. We got 70s, upper 70s coming on Saturday, which
Don't
is
feel
crazy.
good.
But for Sammy, I'm Scott. Thank you for joining us today. Bye-bye.
I'm gonna take over Jeff's. Put a smile on somebody's
Oh,
face
yeah.
today.
Very good.
Boom.
Thank you.